Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Hi. And I have my co-host, Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Now, why don't you introduce your friend who's on today? By the way, and let's ask your friend, has she heard our intro music before?
I have not. That's the first time.
Yes, we have intro music now. So, Kelly, why don't you introduce your friend?
Okay. Hi, this is Christina, Carey, and she's been with us this will be the fourth one of our Overcoming Adversity series. So if you guys have been tuned in and listening, it's been quite the journey. And if you haven't, you still have time to catch up and go to our YouTube and listen to parts 1 through 3. And if you haven't and you're tuning in now, it will still be a learning experience. So enjoy.
Great.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hi, great. Welcome back,
Hello.
Christina.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
you. It's good to hear everybody's voice.
And yours as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I have a lot to cover again, of course. I'm going to start with a verse tonight because I felt that it was very important because it talks about foundation, building a solid foundation. And it's from Matthew 7, starting Matthew 7:24. Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Through the rain comes in torrents, and the flood waters rise, and the winds beat against the house. It won't collapse because it is built on bedrock. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against the house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. I chose that because as you guys have been listening to all of these parts of the series, you heard a lot of tragedies, a lot of the obstacles that I had faced, and some of the things that you will hear tonight, there wasn't a good foundation. And some of the things that you will hear tonight still, you will see what happens when a young girl doesn't have that foundation built properly. And I say young girl because I am the young girl, because it doesn't only happen to young girls, it also happens to young boys. However, as a young lady, it is very, very vital for a girl to have a father figure, whether a father is in the home or not. But it should be a very positive influence in her life, as I stated that before. And that's why I chose to begin tonight with that verse. So, as I go on, I'm going to start reading. I stand in front of a full body mirror. The light comes in through a window into a dim room, and reflected of that mirror, I stood there looking at myself in a sports bra and workout shorts, looking at the young teenage girl, which of course is myself. I so much wanted to feel confident and the desire to have value and see that within myself. However, all I saw was nothing. I wanted to scream so loud as images came to mind of each abuser that violated me. I wanted to just take a red lipstick and write every filthy word that was spoken over me, or every single thing that was done to me, and write it on me. Because I believe that was my worth. If you feel the same way, and I'm talking to the listeners, that's not your worth. Don't believe that. Each one of them never saw my value or the beauty within me, nor my worth. Better yet, they never saw the value within themselves. No one helped them heal from the abuse they suffered from. Did they try to get help for themselves? Or did they even care that they devalued someone else? I wonder how many others were there. Was I the only one? If they are truly sorry, then they would speak up and own up to the issues, not hide it away or deny it, or just say that was just in the past. Forget about it, because that's not how it works. That's not how healing begins. You have to fight to overcome the demons. And this is to everyone that's listening. Yes, hurt people do hurt people. But when you say you are redeemed, then by the grace of God, you help others to know Jesus. You help them get to know him as well. Yet, I look at every word and I cry. I self-harmed and no one notices. I just wanted all the disgusting filth off of me. I had so many responsibilities ever since I was a little girl. I just wanted to run away. I wanted to grab the biggest brick and slam it and shatter that mirror, because brokenness and a shattered heart was me. I had no room to trust but a few women in my life and the person I married. My mom was my everything. My grandma was my everything. She became a single mom of 3 children and was also working a full-time job. And by this time in life, I enjoyed a crazy time of finding myself in a way that I was shown by the men that hurt me. Girls need a strong foundation, and I had talked about that earlier. I had a secret and the things that I was shown of sex and porn and so many other things, this girl was becoming something that she didn't like. I had many parties that probably should have never happened. The taste of alcohol, my favorite drink were margaritas. Now I will try to stay away from because they're no good for me. Clubbing was a thing for me. If I had too many drinks, yeah, that table would be kind of fun to try to dance on. Thankfully, I had a friend to stop me. If they were doing a wet t-shirt contest, maybe I would try to do that. But once again, thanks to really good friends, they won't let you do that. You need to pay attention who your true friends are. True friends don't talk behind your back. True friends check in on you. True friends tell you like it is. True friends will stop you from doing stupid things. True friends are really true to you in your face and behind your back. This friend was a true friend. I experimented in many ways. Yes, I had sex. I had sex not just with a man, but I actually had sex with a girl. Not something that I'm proud of. I didn't like that at all. But these were things that the seeds were sown. They were planted ever since I was a little girl. So why not try it, right? That's what I thought. Yes, those were my decisions. I knew right from wrong. I'm only upset because they planted those seeds. Certain people showed me images. They did certain things, but I still made those decisions. I was feeling like I was living a good life. That's not a good life. I did ask questions about things I remembered, about what I learned of God and how He showed me things, but no one could answer my questions. I still believed and still talked to Him, but I still did things to benefit me until God spoke to me, and He spoke to me some very important words. Did you have a question?
Us?
I don't.
Okay. So God spoke to me, and He had a very, very important question to me. He asked me, Christina, do you want my best for you? And it is something that I ask everyone that's listening. Do you want God's best for you? And as He asked me that question, I said, yeah, I do. And I remember saying, well, what does that look like? Well, I remember we had talked about moving to Florida years ago, and God said, you need to go to your spouse and you need to ask about moving to Florida. And if that's still a yes, then you need to go. If you want my best, then you need to do this. And all I could think of is I have an amazing job. My spouse has an amazing business. We just bought a house. The kids are in a great school system, like all these different things that we had. But if you look back on everything that I just said about what was happening, that wasn't my best. Maybe that I created, but not what God created for me or for my family. So I did what he said. I went to myself and I said, do you still want to go to Florida? Yes. So within 6 months, I think it was, after that question, we literally packed up, got rid of a lot of stuff, gave away a lot of stuff, and left our jobs, left our house. We didn't have a place to live. We left everything. We left our parents. But it was something that was needed to be done. Because when you're in a place and you're comfortable in a place, you don't see a lot of things that are happening. You're blind, I guess is what I want to say. But when you get out of the situation, then you're able to see a lot more. So that's what happened. So we left. We took a leap of faith. We got in the car, took our whole family. And as soon as we went to Fernandina Beach, which is, I call our second home, which I absolutely love. It's crazy because I thought we were going there for one reason, but actually we were going for a whole different reason than what I thought. Excuse me. We get over the bridge to go onto the island, and I see this church. And I'm like, okay. And then we go to where we were going to stay in a hotel. And then I was like, well, we don't have a place to live. We're going to stay in this hotel. You can only stay in the hotel for a short time. We have 7 of us in this one little tiny hotel. But we're trusting God. And we happened to look in this paper, and we open it up, and there's this place, and we go to look at it. And it's so beautiful. It was on an acre of land, and it looked like a house. It was on a pond, lake, probably like a small little lake, a deck off the lake. It had another apartment. It was just beautiful. And it had still stuff in it. So I was like, okay, it has all this stuff in it. And like, they still have to move out. Like, it's just whatever. But all I could think of is how beautiful that place is. And these people are not going to rent to us. So the lady says, Christina, what did you bring? And I looked at her and I said, nothing. We really didn't bring anything. Like, we brought maybe a few things, but for the most part, we really didn't bring anything. And she looked at me and said, how did you know not to bring anything with you? And I didn't know what she meant by that at first. We looked at the apartment. The apartment had stuff in it. She's like, when do you want to move in? I'm like, well, don't you need to look at our credit and get approved? And she's like, no. She says, everything in this place is fully furnished. You do not have a need or a want. Everything here is for you guys. The apartment, along with, it was a trailer, but it actually looked like a house. It had everything. Everything. And all I could do was want to cry. Because it was a leap of faith. That was God. So I'm standing there looking at her like, okay. So then we're moving what we did have in. And then I was going through the phone book, and there's that little church from a year and a half. There was a postcard from a year and a half prior. And then the next day, they had sent a postcard. So I got online and I listened to the pastor literally the whole entire day. And I listened to the worship music for a long time too. And all I could do was think of, this is home. This is going to be home. So I looked at my spouse and said, we have to check out this church. I just feel like we need to go there. As soon as we walked in the door, I remember the greetings in the most genuine, beautiful way, and how the smile, loving, all you could feel in that church was love. They met you right where you were at in life. And from that day forward, we never stepped foot out of that church until we moved away. Within that time, being in that church, so many questions of mine were answered. I am amazed. When I had talked previously about missions, within a few months, I learned about mission trips. I went on my first mission trip. Because walking, stepping faith, and going here, I learned about different ministries and what it meant. I learned more about faith. I got rebaptized. I learned what unconditional love meant or means. That church is our church home away from home, meaning that when we go visit, that's where we go. I can't tell you how much life change had happened when we took that leap of faith. I can't stress enough of how much it impacted not just my life, but our whole family. And even till this day. So when I talk about God in a strong way, not just because they influenced from a little girl, but they answered a lot of questions. And they would never point fingers, they would guide me. There's a difference. I can actually say they are family. Building relationships. Even sharing with my children how important that was and still is. I learned a lot of what it meant to be a living sacrifice, because I love to serve. There's so many things that I love to do, but that really struck me in such a powerful way. And so I had remembered before getting so involved in learning about everything, and right before I got rebaptized, I was still went out and went to the pool hall or whatever while we were there. And the night before church, I think it was a Saturday night, I went out, and then that Sunday I had come in and there was a sermon, and it really, really, really struck me in such a powerful way that I could no longer drink alcohol like that ever again. It struck me that much. A lot of things that I had used to do, I gave up. Now, I'm not perfect. I still am working on myself. We all are working on ourselves, because we give ourselves to Christ doesn't mean things will be easy. Actually, people think that, but it's not true. It actually gets harder. I fail daily. I'm always working on how I can do something better within myself and what I can fix. It did feel good to get rebaptized because that's something that I chose. I didn't have anyone choose it for me. it felt good to reevaluate what true friendship looked like. It also felt really good to find out exactly why it was so strong on my heart of ministry when I was little. Having such a strong heart for God and wanting to serve others. So learning about the different ministries, food ministry, kids ministry, the student ministry, going on mission trips, things like that. Fundraising. There were so many different things that we got to do that were very special. I know that there are some listeners that think that they can't be used or their past is too horrible. But God can use anyone. It's just if you're available. It doesn't matter what your past is. It's, are you ready to give up those things that you're doing? Are you ready to be used to glorify Him? Because whatever you're doing, if you give it up, you could be taking that, going somewhere else, and helping other people out of that bondage. I know, like, one of my abusers had mentioned he wanted to help other people. Okay, go in the prison. Go in the prison system. That's a start. There are things that you can do. I truly believe that this is the time where people need to rise up and really believe in themselves and reevaluate where you are. Are you really doing what you're supposed to be doing? I had to do that. I still am doing that. Like I said, God can choose anyone. It's whether you're available or not, no matter what your past is. It's really about growing His kingdom, and it's really about glorifying Him. Are you tired of the past that you're living? Are you tired of being tired? Are you sick of everything? I know I was. Do you know Jesus? He's the ultimate healer. He's the only one. I've seen so many people change So many. Do you want to know Jesus? Do you believe that he died for our sins? If you do, each of you can ask him to come in your heart just by a simple prayer. And you can do it on your couch, you can do it in the shower, you can do it anywhere. But if it's something you do, I would love to know, because I would love to pray with you. I would love to pray for you. Because this is your soul. This is your life. I can tell you my whole story, which I've shared through most of this series. Yes, I've been hurt, and it's very painful, but I have to look at the whole picture. I have to look at the fact that the people that hurt me were also hurt too. And not to give them excuses, but they also need to be healed. So the best thing for me is to pray for them too. So think about, if you've been hurt by someone, take a minute to pray for them. That's important. I know this is so much, because a lot of times I hear is, I don't care about that person. They hurt me. I hear a lot of mean things. And trust me, there are times where I have been so angry, very angry. I would be sobbing. I remember calling my cousin up. He's never heard me cry. And I'm talking to him, and I'm crying and sobbing, and I'm angry. And I thought I'd never hear these words from him. And all he could say is, "'Cause we got to forgive." Things that I usually say. But I was so upset. And it's true. And when you talk about it more, the more healing takes place inside of ourselves. Don't keep it inside. If something's happened to you, talking to the viewers, or listeners, sorry, talk about it. Write it out if you have to. That's part of healing. You can't get to the next if you can't get through the first. That's how it works. You can't just keep going and going and going, and then all of a sudden you have a trigger later. And then you have to work through from the beginning because that's kind of what happened to me. I thought I had it all worked out because I did work through it a little bit, but not as much as I guess I should have. And now I'm going from day one and working through it again because I must have missed some things. I don't want to carry it on to my children or my grandchildren and so on because it carries. You want to stop it, which means it's if it stops with you. What should have happened when the abuse happened to those people, it should have stopped with them. But it didn't. I say today it stops. And that's what I said when I was younger. It stops with me. I won't tolerate it. But healing begins when you talk about it. But I am serious. If you ask Jesus to come in your heart and ask him to forgive your sins and be a part of your life, I would love to know because I would love to walk with you. And even if you have questions, I would love to walk with you because it's very, very important. I know that when I talked about having and taking a leap of faith, and there are many times that I have had to take a leap of faith, which have been very difficult decisions. Even during times of uncertainty, when you're angry, don't make harsh decisions. Your decisions, and you should always go to the Word of God. That's what I do because that has been just, it's always my go-to. But I have gained so much strength through every trial. And even going through this series, like, yes, like tonight I broke down this afternoon. Like, I really broke down as I was writing and different times throughout the day when I was talking to my mentor. And yes, having a mentor is very important. I broke down, and that's okay. But you get so much strength, which I have even during this series. As I sit down and think about what I'm going to talk about or the words that I look for from God and the prayer that I just want to say, it's so, I just find so much strength in it and powerful. God is just so powerful in so many ways. But I wanted to leave with this, and I was been thinking about this verse for a while, and I really feel that it was meant to be said tonight. And it's from James 1:2, and it's about faith and endurance. And I truly believe that each of us have it at different times. And if you are doing certain things throughout your day and you feel like you can't, try it. Just have faith that you can. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can. Because if you believe that you can't, then you're not going to be able to. So, faith and endurance. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and He will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask Him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. And when I write in my Bible, and that was, I'll tell you a little story about my Bible in a minute, but I wrote in it, and I said, no matter what we go through, good, bad, or even the worst moments, focus and stay positive, even when it's too much to bear. And that's what I put next to it. So that's the verse, my ending verse. But I want to tell you a quick story about my Bible, because I thought it was so good how, like, God answers prayers. He answers them. He answered this one. So I have a brown and pink Bible, and I had remembered that I wanted a new Bible. And I specifically, so when you pray, be specific and bold with your prayers. And I was. And I didn't tell but one person, I believe, that I wanted a new Bible, but I didn't tell her specifics. And I got a knock on the door, and she's like, oh, I got something for you. And I opened it, and it was a Bible. And she's like, yeah, somebody was like, well, I don't need it. It's new. And she said, you probably know someone. Do you know someone that needs it? And she's like, yep, I know someone who was just asking for one. What she didn't know is that in my heart, I wanted the exact same color that I have sitting in front of me that was given to me. And so I just was like, for real? Like, I was so excited that I got a Bible in the color that I wanted. And it was, I mean, any Bible is perfect, but I just was like, that is the most perfect Bible I wanted. So I was really excited, and I had to share that with you. But that's what I have tonight. And does anybody have any questions?
Well, I mean, that's a great story.
Yeah, that was great. I like the advice about making sure your child has a foundation and a good male figure. It is so important. They get excited about seeing them and they respect them and they see that that figure respects you. All that really works well together.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I do. I really believe that. However, that's not always the case in everyone's situation. But I also know that there is probably a male figure that is a good positive influence. That or someone. But I know like my aunt, she's actually so amazing. I can think of her because she's always been just truly amazing.
Oh,
Both of them.
that's cool. Wow. Well, this has been really great having you on.
You.
This was really listening.
I love how this is also very therapeutic for you. It's helping so many
Yes.
listeners out there, but for you too, that makes me so happy to know that this is helping you each time you come on as well.
Thank you. It really has been. I just know that I know why, and that will be next week. I know that there's a purpose. So I know there was still some healing that I was unaware of that came out. So I'm actually glad that it came out. So this was a perfect time. So it's all coming together the way that it needs to come together.
Oh, good. Good.
It's all in God's plan.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Wow.
Perfect
What
timing. Nobody has more perfect timing than God. And just your faith alone must give you so much comfort in knowing that.
He is who I rely on.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too. Me too. And then
Yeah.
you never are alone, ever. And that now you know 100% this is your purpose. This is what you're meant to be doing, and you're doing it in God's perfect timing under His plan for you.
Well, I really enjoy being able to share, and I enjoy the writing, and just being on here has been really nice.
It's always so wonderful to have you on here. And I know you're helping a lot of people. And like Barb just said, it is so beautiful to see it helping you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, it has been wonderful. Like, there are times when you've been speaking on here today that I've been getting chills. And, usually that's something that, Barbara and Karen say. And, like, I really have been. And it's like, it's wonderful to be, feeling that and knowing that, just the presence of God is here.
Yes. That's what that means, right? Getting the chills. You're just so close to the angels and God. Yes.
And that's important to have the presence of God, because if God is not present, then I don't need to be here. God has to be the center of everything. And that's what's difficult sometimes, is you want to make sure that he is in the center of everything. He can't be on the sideline. He can't be a co-pilot. He has to be the pilot. He has to. He's it. He is. That's it. It's him. Because without him, you fail. And some people don't realize that. Some people think that, oh, I'm doing it myself. I can do this without him. Well, it seems like you can do that without him, but in reality, it's not going to work out. It's not. You have to reevaluate your life. It seems good right now, but it's not.
Yeah.
No. Yes. I don't know how they make it through life, atheists, where they don't feel that there is a God at all. And I just feel like that's such a lonely path.
But then again, that's why you show them love, and you show, like I said before, you're their friends. True friends will tell you like it is. True friendship, if you're a believer, you're going to show them God. True friendship, you're going to do all those things.
And
you're going to meet them where they're at. Yeah.
That's
now,
true.
Is it going to be difficult? Yes, because I know for me, some days I have my most difficult moments. I have meltdowns, but you have to look at the bigger picture. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about, who is it about? It's about God. That's it. It's about the Lord. It's about to glorify him. It's about people's souls. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to remind myself.
Oh yeah, we're human, and we have to remind ourselves of that a lot. But we do, and we know it, and then we're right back on the right path. But I do like what you said earlier about how you had a very big breakdown, like you were crying so much because you realized there's more healing to do, and how wonderful is that to realize, so you can work on that more. And that was like a breakthrough today.
Oh yeah. I had a lot of breakthroughs today.
Wow.
Good.
Great.
I had a lot of breakthroughs today, and so much. There's just a lot of breakthroughs today, and it was just a beautiful thing today. Very emotional day for me in so many ways, positive ways, but overall, it's hard to go through this process. However, it's a good thing. If you think of it in a positive manner, it's a good thing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having you on. We're about out of time. Thank you for coming on, Christina. And
yes, thank you, Christina, so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it might be Shelly's turn to the shout out. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. You're up, Kelly.
All right. Okay, thank you. All right. If you want to get caught up on our other shows, we have 280 or more other shows on our YouTube channel, Life, Laughter, Happiness Show. And we are in the middle of retitling and putting better descriptions on them. So if what you're looking for that you've looked out in the past isn't on there that you can find, it will be shortly because we are retitling. So please, please, please help us out by subscribing and liking our YouTube channel. And we are sure to get more content out every single day. We are working hard. And please follow us on our social media. When you are out there on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, so are we. So please follow us, and you'll see new stuff every day. And Barbara's all over the Instagram and the Twitter, and I'm all over the Facebook. So you'll find us. And we have all kinds of new stuff on our website, and Barbara's on top of that too, at lifelaughterhappiness.com, and a reviews page. So please let us know how you're doing, what you'd like to see more of, and we'll get it out there. So thanks for joining us, and have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Love you all.